Don't just be another foreigner, be a local Laowai.
Welcome back to Local Laowai, the show that gives you everything you need to know for a smooth transition to life in China. I'm Donnie Newman. In 2005, UK pop star released her first hit single, 9 Million Bicycles, in which she stated there are exactly 9 million bicycles here in Beijing. But the fact is, who cares what the fact is? The fact is there are lots and lots of bicycles, not only in Beijing, but all of China. Today we've come here to Natuki, the first fixed-gear bike shop in the entire country, to give you all the tips you need for biking in China. But to bike, you'll first need a bike. But which kind? Check this out. Now if you want to go high market, you can pick up one of these bad boys here, a stylish fixed-gear bike. Fixed-gear bikes are becoming more and more popular with young people and trendsetters here in the city. So if you want to pick one up, you can come to a place like Natuki here and get one for yourself. Today we're here with Natuki owner Ines Brun. Ines, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you for coming down to Wudaoying Hutong.
Awesome. Okay, so first things first, how does one go about purchasing a bike from Natuki?
Well, in the shop, we don't have many built-up bikes, and the ones you see are for customers. They've already purchased them. So what you would need to do is you need to come and have an idea of what kind of colors you like and what kind of style, and then you can choose all the parts here. We have the frames, the rims, everything will be built up specifically for you.
So what can one expect to pay for a new fixed-gear bike?
It starts at 2,800 RMB. That's for the cheapest parts that we have here, but all of them are really high quality.
So how high can it go?
There's no limit in the sky. Depends on the parts that you choose, and I think there's always, even if you choose all the parts, we can still find somebody that says, but that part, there's even a more expensive one.
So do you have any advice on protecting your bike from thieves?
Yes. Like the first one is use a lock, and always lock your bike to something which cannot be moved, because just locking the bike itself, these bikes are really light, so somebody can just lift it up and go away. So definitely lock the bike to something. The other thing is use a good lock. So the quality of the lock is really important, not just the heaviness, because there's a lot of Chinese locks made out of not good steel in a really, like the design of the lock is just really cheap, where there's one weak point, which just makes the whole thing weak. At night, we definitely advise put your bike inside, because that's a good time where somebody can use any kind of big instrument, a big tool like a saw or electric saw even, to open any kind of lock. So if at night your bike is inside your house when you sleep, that's the best.
Okay, cool. Oh man, these fixed gear bikes are definitely pretty cool. But they tend to be pretty colorful and they stand out, so you definitely want to keep an eye on them. Huh? Where's my bike? Sometimes it can seem like these bikes have a mind of their own. That's why it's best to keep them safely locked up to something heavy and sturdy. Or better yet, keep them away from prying eyes indoors, especially at night. Although Beijing has a reputation for being a bike city, there's been a steady rise in car ownership in recent years. So while there's technically bike lanes on the road, do be warned. Things can get pretty hairy out there. The philosophy of some drivers seems to be, if I drive faster, you'll get out of the way sooner. So as they say here, 安全第一, safety first. Now, if these are a little too flashy for you, you can always get an old school Chinese style bike, like this one. Now those old school bikes are very sturdy and relatively cheap, and they're becoming trendy as well, which might give you a high resale value. So if you're a Laowai living here, why not indulge yourself in a spot of history with one of those bikes? Here we have your generic, everyday, average Chinese bike. Now they're very cheap, got a bell here, and a basket you can just run out and do some shopping. Now, these bikes are also good because they blend into the massive amount of bicycles here, so people are less likely to take notice of them. Now, to get one of these guys, simply walk into any bike store. There should be plenty of new and secondhand models available. Or you might be able to get one for free. Maybe a friend or a friend of a friend has one of these lying around.
There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact.
Whichever bike you choose, be careful at all times. Keep your eyes peeled and don't be afraid to assert yourself out there on the road. Well, that's it for this time. I have to ride off into the sunset. See you next time.
On the next episode, we show you what to look out for as you're traversing your city on foot. Until then, be sure to keep sending in your questions at localaowai@bon.tv. I'm Donnie Newman. We'll see you next time.